Welcome back to my channel. My name is Courtney and this is Beauty by CLH. If you're new here, I hope you'll subscribe and follow me on Instagram, but I'm really going to try so hard this year to focus on YouTube. It's something that I've always enjoyed and I just have always put on the back burner. So hopefully you guys can keep me accountable and I will post weekly here. Ooh, but anyways, that's not what this video is about. Today I am going to be using the Bridgerton Pat McGrath collection for the first time. I bought 3 of the products. She launched 4 items, a palette, a blush palette, and 2 highlighters. I only bought 1 of the highlighters because I just don't even really wear a highlighter all that often, so it seemed crazy to buy both. But yeah, so if you're interested in this video, keep on watching. So Pat McGrath and Bridgerton just collabed on the most gorgeous collection. This is what the packaging looks like. It's insanely beautiful. They're cardboard components. So this is the Diamond of the First Water palette. It's super beautiful. I have swatches on my Instagram at BeautyByCLH. I'll have it listed down below so you guys can go check out the swatches if you're interested. I'm not going to swatch in this video. I just want to use it and kind of give you guys quick thoughts. And then here is the blush palette. These are not new blushes to her like catalog, but I don't own any of her blushes, so this will be my first impression on her blush formula. So the shades in this are Cherish, Nymphette, and Venus Nectar. So if you already have those, you definitely don't need this palette, but I didn't. So it made sense for me to purchase this palette. I'm really excited. They swatched beautifully. Again, swatches are on my Instagram. And then the highlighters are not in the cardboard packaging. They're in her like plastic, fancier packaging. I don't really think this packaging is all that nice, but it is nicer than cardboard, I guess, but I think the packaging is gorgeous on all of them. I wish this highlighter was just in the cardboard packaging as well, but it is really nice. And the inside of this highlighter is gorgeous. So I don't know how to hold this so that you guys can see. Here we go. It's insanely beautiful. Honestly, like, that's why I bought it. I don't really wear a ton of highlighter, and I don't think this shade is going to be one that I particularly reach for a lot, but this whole collection is like a collector's thing. So, ooh, it hurts to say that, but that's why I did it. So anyways, let's get started. I'm going to put these on my face for the first time. I've never used her highlighters either. So that's also going to be a first impression. I know her highlighter formula is absolutely cherished across the beauty world, but yeah, let's stop rambling, Courtney. Sorry guys, it's been a while since I filmed anything. And let's get into it. Okay, so the highlighter is in the shade, I don't know. I think it's just like gold or something. Incandescent gold, maybe. So let's go for it. Super gorgeous, like white gold. It looks really glittery though, which is kind of surprising. I know this formula is like described as like kind of like a gel powder, which I usually quite enjoy. I'm more so of like a cream person, but you can't go wrong. Wow, that is super glittery. Like really glittery. I am confused. Can you guys tell how glittery it is? Also, my skin is like really going through it. We are recovering from the coronavirus, and or I guess I should be recovered, but my skin is just like dying. So that's super glittery. I don't think that I'll like wear this very often. Like, you couldn't wear this every day. You would have to wear it like when you're going out or like going on a gathering or something special. I don't know, guys. I don't know. This formula is so loved. I don't understand. It is beaming though. Look at that on my nose. Wow. I'm just confused. It's super glittery. The color is really pretty, but like you can tell that I'm wearing highlighter. It doesn't look lit from within or anything like that. I don't know what I think. I think that is not spectacular. Okay, so let's go into the blush palette. I think these shades are really pretty and really smart. And the embossing is just like gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. I think I'm gonna go in with the brightest color. Fluffy brush. There's like kick up everywhere. Can you guys see all of the kick up that like fell down into, I just went and like fallout everywhere. I don't know. I mean, as you guys can tell, I don't have a ton of experience with Pat McGrath formulas. I have a couple of her lipsticks and a couple pigments from like way back in the day, like when she first launched, but it has been a while since I've purchased or tried anything else from her. I don't know. Her blushes get a lot of hype too, and I think it looks fine, but I'm just definitely a cream person, and I just don't think that powder is like the most flattering for my skin. The color is really pretty. It's a nice everyday pink. So far I'm not loving it. Maybe it's just the highlighter underneath. Oh no, what is this review? Okay, anyways, let's go on to the palette. The palette is actually getting the worst reviews out of everything, which is surprising because it's Pat McGrath, but here is what it looks like. People are saying, and I can concur from like swatching this, that this shade and this shade, they're very, very similar, and they're also not very pigmented. And then this shade is very like sandy and gritty in texture, and it's on like a sheer base, so there's not like a ton going on. Like you can sort of see the blue, but also it just kind of looks very iridescent when you swatch it, which is kind of a letdown because I know for me, that's the whole reason I bought this palette. It just looks super special in the pan, and then it doesn't swatch or translate when you actually use it. And then the matte shade for me, again, had like a ton of fallout when I swatched it. It got everywhere, but I know her mattes are like super coveted, so I expect it to be really good. And then this shade was phenomenal. Like it was absolutely perfect. It was so like creamy and metallic. I loved it. And then this one was just like fine. So yeah, that's just like my first impressions from swatching it. But yeah, everyone is in agreement. Oh, I don't know how to speak these days. Everyone can agree that these are just kind of like not as spectacular as they should be, and a little bit of a letdown. So we'll see what kind of look we can come up with. I mean, at least the packaging is stunning. Overall, I think I'm still going to generally like this whole collection, but it's definitely not a must-have if you missed out on the first launch. I do think that she's gonna restock, but yeah, if it's like not in the budget for you, if you're doing a no buy, don't feel like super bad because the whole collection isn't like superb. It's just fine. I don't know what we're gonna do. Okay, so I didn't really prime my eyes. I just have like a tiny bit of concealer, and then I just put the highlighter like around here, because I like to do that. So that's all that's on my eyes. And I'm gonna go in, ooh, what am I gonna do? I guess I'm gonna go in with the light pink shade first, because I really love pink eyeshadow. I just love everything pink. Yeah, let's just kind of like sweep that all over this outer portion. like we do. Actually, maybe I'll go for like a halo situation. I think that is pigmented enough, honestly. Like you guys saw, I just like did a swirl, tapped my brush off, and there's like plenty of pigment on my eye, and it blended itself out like very quickly. So I quite like that so far. Let's do it again. Yeah, I think that's really pretty. I'm gonna put it under the eye too. I have heard people say that it kind of looks like they have pink eye. I don't ever get that vibe when I wear pink eyeshadow. I don't know. I like that it's satin as well. It just kind of looks really luminous and pretty. I'm all about like shimmer everything these days. It's hard for me to see if these are even because there's like lights coming at me from all angles, but from like my very like blinded self, I feel like this looks actually really nice, and I think the trick will be to see if the darker pink builds on top of it and actually allows you to go deeper. I've heard that this isn't like that deep. It's swatched pretty deep in my opinion, so we'll see. Oh, yeah, I can see what people mean. Like this isn't like that much deeper than the other one, but yeah, I think we could have actually just done without this one and maybe went with like a darker brown, or maybe like a purple would have been nice. Because yeah, they're not really that much different. Okay, so here's where we are so far, just from the light pink shade and the deeper pink. I quite like it. Let me see if I need another brush to kind of like blend out the edges. Go with this fluffy thing. I really like the satin finish. I think it's pretty unique to my collection anyways. Like if I have a pink, it's gonna be either matte or shimmery. Like I don't believe I have this kind of like in between pink shade. I think it's super pretty. I know a lot of people don't really like the satin finish, but I'm super into it right now, I guess. Okay, I'm scared to get fallout on my sweater. It does have a lot of kick up, her matte formula. Do you guys like that? I mean, I don't have a ton of experience with it. I did get 2 Mothership palettes for Christmas, but I haven't used them yet because we haven't had a ton of sunshine, and also, like I said, we're recovering from the coronavirus, so I haven't put on a ton of makeup this year yet. I think that looks pretty. Can you guys see? It's just like deepening it up ever so slightly, and it is showing up quite purple over those pink shades. I'm gonna go in with this like champagne-y, well, I guess it's like a pinky champagne in the inner corner. It looks nice. Just looks pretty, exactly what you would expect it to look like. And now, oh, I wish I would have used this one because this is the one that swatched the best, but I want to go in with the blue, so I don't know, maybe I'll put this one on the lower lash line. Will that be too much? Possibly. That one's so pretty. Okay, now we're going for the blue. It does feel really sandy. I mean, you can see, like, it's definitely blue, but I just feel like it doesn't translate as much as you would want. Like, if you're gonna go blue, you should really go there. Actually, right now it looks quite nice, so I don't know what my swatch was doing earlier. I'm putting that, like, straight up the middle and, like, on the brow bone area. That looks really good. I don't know if you guys can see. It's translating. Like, maybe if I turn my head this way, can you see the blue? That is really freaking cute. I'm into it. I really don't like this highlighter, guys. The more I see it on my skin, I'm just like, wow, that looks terrible, but what's a $60 highlighter anyways? All right, so that is the completed look. Let's go over everything because I have a lot of thoughts. I do think that this collection is kind of getting well-deserved bad reviews. I hate to say it, but with that being said, everyone's least favorite product is the palette, and I think that's my favorite, but that just comes down to personal preference. I don't love the shade of this highlighter. I'm sure I will use it on my eyes as like a topper shade a ton, but on the skin, it's not my favorite. It's glittery and my skin just doesn't look amazing. Same with the blush palette. I guess I should be holding these. The blush palette, I think the shades are really beautiful and smart, but powder blush just isn't my favorite. I thought being Pat McGrath, I would love it, but it's just a powder blush at the end of the day, in my opinion. I prefer something much more glossy on the skin to make my dry skin look alive. But that's just my personal preference. If you like powder blushes, I'm sure that this would be a great buy. And again, these are shades that are already like existing in her catalog already. So if you have them, you don't need this. But if you've been wanting them, this packaging is really stunning. And that's all I'm gonna say about that. It's just not my favorite, but if you like powder blushes, you would definitely like it. And then the eyeshadow palette. This ended up being my favorite thing. I disagree that these are not pigmented enough, but I do think that they are a little bit too close in shade. I think we could have just done without this one at all, and maybe she could have given us something with a little bit more depth to it. This purple brownish shade is super lovely, but you can only build it up to like a certain extent. My eyes, they have dimension, but they could have used more for sure. So if she gave us something like a deeper purple here, I think that would have been better than the lighter pink. But other than that, the blue surprised me. It didn't swatch like super amazingly, but it looks gorgeous on the eyes. And this champagne color is super solid. So really wonderful, like inner corner shade. And then this shade is just amazing. It's so good and creamy and lovely. Overall, I love the palette. I think I'm gonna use it a ton and it's special. So that's my thoughts. If I were to do this all over again, I think I would have just purchased the palette. I will definitely make myself use the blushes, and I'll probably find a use for the highlighter, like I said, like as an eyeshadow. But overall, I don't think the collection is worth the money unless you are just buying it for the sake of having it as a collector's thing. It is super stunning to look at though. Really, really pretty. But yeah, so overall, it is what it is. If you're a collector like I am, actually I'm trying not to be a collector. I'm trying to make wiser choices. But Bridgerton is one of my favorite shows. I watched it a million times, and yeah, I mean, I fell into the hype a little bit with this one. Her videos, Pat McGrath's videos on her site, every single one just like drew me in 100%. And I think it's a beautiful collection. You don't need it, but if you want it, I totally understand, obviously. I cannot stop looking at my eyes. I think it's gorgeous, and I'm super happy with the eyeshadow palette. So yeah, I'm going to be trying to film weekly. I'm really excited for what that means for this channel and just like myself in general. I'm hoping to see a lot of growth this year, and I'm trying to use my collection a lot more and also make purchases that make a lot more sense and are a lot more usable than, let's say, this Bridgerton collection. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this review and first impressions. I hope that maybe this look will inspire you. I'm sure that you can create it with things that you already have, and I hope that you have a lovely day, and I'll see you guys next week. Thanks for watching. Bye!